Okay, good afternoon everyone. So let's start our today's session. So in our last session we have talked about the forms, right? And with that particular forms, we have also discussed about the different types of inputs, right? So we have seen various inputs like text box, okay, then button. There are three types of buttons, right? After that, we have also discussed about the drop down list and radio button, checkbox, and all that stuff. Okay. Now, today we are going to discuss about there are some new input types are added into HTML5 to make your user interface very pretty, right? And it will provide you the good functionality. So these are the particular, you can say, new input types added. Okay, so these are the input types added into the particular HTML5. So first is a color, right? Second one is the particular date, time, local, email, month, number, range, search, telephone numbers, specific, spatially, time, URL, and weeks, right? Apart from this, there are new attributes are also added into this. So we are going to discuss all that in our today's session, right? So let's go ahead and see what kind of inputs we have. So first of all, we are going to start with the color, right? So color is used for input fields that should contain a color. So nowadays you can see that this is very common facility all the OSes and all the softwares are providing, that whenever if you want to select some color, right? So you can just click on that and one color dialog box will pop up, right? So that kind of dialog box will be pop up over here in HTML also, right? So it is known as the color tool, right? It is known as the color tool. So whenever if you want to select some specific color, then one particular color dialog box will be open in front of you, and it is also known as a color picker, right? So it depends on your browser, right? So depends on your browser, it opens up the particular color picker tool. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. Okay, so in this example, if you write this one line, then it will display output like this. So here, what is our input type? Our input type is a color. Our input type is color. You can provide any name and you can provide default value also, right? So one default value you can provide, that value will be displayed in this particular field, right? Whenever user click on this, then this kind of color picker will be pop up, right? So you can see, you can change any range from here to here, and also you can mouse over here and you can select the particular color, so that will be applicable. So this is a one good thing they have added into the HTML5. So many a times it is very much required in some applications that you need to choose a different colors from given options, right? So in that case, this will be useful. Now let's go for second one. So date and time related, and you can say year and week, they have provided in a detail input types, right? So let's discuss about it. First of all, we are starting with the date, right? So setting the input type to date indicates that you wish the user to enter a date. So suppose if you want to enter your birth date, suppose there is some form and in that form you have to provide joining date, right? So that kind of facilities, that kind of inputs, if you want from the user, then you can go for the date, right? Now here you can see that here is the output. Okay, now what is the particular type over here, that is known as the date, right? So here you can see there is a date. Now name is equals to whatever you want to give. Okay, similarly you can provide maximum and minimum. right? So you can provide maximum and minimum over here, right? So up to maximum this particular date, minimum this particular date. Okay, whenever you are executing this particular line, first line, so in front of you this will be there, right? Whenever you click on this icon, then this kind of output will be there, and from this you just need to select the particular date. Okay, by default it is providing this architecture, like this particular shape and symbol and each and everything. So that is by default provided, right? So here MMDDYY is the particular default style that you have to provide. Next is time. Suppose nowadays if you see in iPhone I have observed that this kind of timing setting user interface is provided, right? So whenever you want to set any time, then this kind of user interface will be there. So similarly they have provided this particular user interface in HTML also. So whenever you want to provide a time, then you can just go for type is equals to time. So here you just need to provide type is equals to time, and here I have provided one output. So from that you can just select, you can also select this particular thing, right? So this is by default given. You just you don't need to design anything for this particular user interfaces. Next is a date time local. So here it provides both the views, like you can select the date as well as time. So here you can see that the output array, the type is equals to date time dash local. So same name you have to provide, dash local, right? So what it happens, so whenever you want to provide, you want to select date and time together, right? So you can see over here in the output, this is the particular section for date selection, and this is for a time display. So whenever you click on this icon, then it will pop up like this, and you can just simply select the particular day and time, right? So this is for date and time. Next is a month, right? Suppose if you want to enter a particular month, okay, so for that, here you can see it provides the year and month 2021 and all that, right? And below you can see there is a this month, right? If you want to change, then you can just go for it. Instead of 2021, you can just select it and you can just go for 2022, right? So this way you can just provide the month. Okay, we'll see all these outputs in our practical, but here just you can see what types we are going to use. Here we are going to use a week type, right? So suppose if I want to select from week, so here you can see the particular week is this, and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday up to Saturday, right? And according to that you can just select it, right? So you will get the particular week. Then email. So here by default the pattern is for n@n. What is the meaning of n? N is any string, right? So what happens whenever we are entering the email, then @ must be there, right? So here it is also known as the regular expression or a pattern. You can call anyone, but it's a regular expression or a pattern. Now whenever we are entering email, then abc@yahoo.com. So @ must be there, and here there is any string will be there, right? So this is the by default pattern. If you want to change the pattern, then there is an attribute that is known as the pattern attribute, and in that you provide the regular expression. I hope you know the meaning of regular expression, right? Okay, so let me tell you that suppose if I only want to enter a number, then I can provide a regular expression like this, caret 0 9. So I can provide any number between 0 to 9. Suppose I want to restrict that, I want only 6 digit. So which regular expression I need to provide? I need to provide like 6 in curly braces. So these kind of special syntaxes are there, right? So according to your requirement, you have to design this pattern. You have to design this particular pattern, right? And this is known as the regular expression, right? Now if you provide this particular pattern, then only it will accept 6 digit, up to 6 digit, right, between 0 to 9, right? Suppose A to Z if you want, then A to Z, and capital A to Z, then if you can provide this like this, right? So you can just go on to the internet and just see the pattern or see the regular expression syntaxes, because it's a very major area, right? And lots of patterns you can make according to your requirement. But the main objective over here is, in our here email @ must be there, so you can just provide this. So here you don't need to provide any pattern, because by default it is there. If you enter ABC, it will not allow you, right? You have to compulsory write abc@gmail.com. So directly you can use this email. The next thing is number, right? So here you can just select the numbers. Okay, so type is equals to number, and here you can provide minimum and maximum. You can provide minimum and maximum. It is for numeric inputs. It is for numeric inputs. So now suppose in your organization you have telephone extensions, right? So different numbers we have, directly we can call each other by providing the number. So that numbers may be between 101 to 112, right? So that particular numbers you can provide a minimum and maximum, and that range will be defined over here. So from this range you can select the particular numeric value. Okay, so this kind of input is also added. Next is range, right? So it is like seek bar. Okay, so if you want to provide a range between anything, suppose this whatever, so here you have to provide minimum and a maximum value again, right? So according to the input types, you have to remember what kind of attributes you can use, what kind of attributes you can use with that, right? So that is very important. So here we are providing the range, so range between minimum to maximum, right? So here you can see that this kind of output you will get if you use a range particular input type, right? So the default range is 0 to 100. However, you can set this restriction and what numbers you are accepted within the minimum and maximum attributes, right? So if you want to provide this kind of range kind of inputs into your waveform, then also it is added. Next is telephone, right? So it provides the default pattern. Here there is no pattern is defined for this, but here you can define the number pattern, right? And according to that you can just enter the inputs over here, and you can only just enter the numeric values over here, right? And which will accept in the form of telephone numbers, right? So that is also useful whenever you specifically want the telephone numbers. So whenever we are filling up the registration forms, so this kind of inputs will be there, right? So majority of inputs are used in that particular form designs. After that, search is added. After that, search is added. So suppose if I want to search something, right? So I just need to directly provide the value over here. Okay, it displays this, right? search button, right? Value input type, there is a submit, and here input type, there is a search. So here you can see it looks like one text box. It looks like one text box. Okay, but whatever you are going to enter into that, so that will be search related with that field. So search is also, you have seen in many of the portfolio, each and every website provides this kind of input types, right? So you can write a background JavaScript according to your filters, searching filters and all that, and you can provide the search option. Next is a URL. So here you can directly write the URL, right? Where suppose if I want to open Gmail, then you can provide www.gmail.com, whatever, right? But here you have to use a protocol, right? So http://www.google.com. So the whole thing you have to write. The whole thing you have to write. Suppose if you only write www.google.com, it will not work, right? So you have to also provide the protocols, right? So the whole syntax, whenever you copy the address bar, okay, from the browser, copy the link, and that particular syntax you have to provide for the URL kind of stuff, right? So you just audio and video will discuss later on. So first of all, let's just design some forms related with these particular inputs and see what kind of outputs we are getting over here. So few of these particular inputs I have designed as an example. So first of all, just jump onto this, and I just need to increase the font. Okay, I think it is visible to everyone, right? Okay, so first of all, in our yesterday's session, we have discussed that particular form design, right? So that form design will be very simple, okay? And whenever you are putting some outputs, whenever you are looking at some outputs, then it will be like this. So this is our browser window. This is the first name. This is the last name. Some text box will be here. Some text box will be here. Your button will be here. So uneven outputs we are getting whenever you are designing a forms. Obviously, why? Because it follows the flow, right? So whatever tags you are writing, so top down bottom, top down approach it provides, and it will start printing from top to bottom like this in a flow. Okay, so that's why we are getting this kind of messy outputs. Okay, now what I want this particular output in very symmetric form, right? Suppose say first colon this, last colon this, and my button will be here, right? So this kind of symmetric form design I want, right? So there are different ways, but the easiest way I found over here that you can merge it with the table tag, right? So what will happen in the table tag? So table tag always provides the rows and columns, you can see, right? So here you can see that you can divide this particular area into rows and columns. Okay, so what you can do, you can write first over here and put the control over here, then you can write a last over here, put the control over here, and button over here. So automatically it will be in a symmetric pattern, right? And it also looks very nice. So this is one of the way, using table you can design a form in a pretty good design. So let me show you the output of this code so you will get the idea. See, I hope the output is visible to everyone, right? So now you can see over here this looks very nice. Okay, so here we have a first name, last name, email address, telephone number, comments, right? Then we have a submit button, and then we have one link for the searching, right? So you can see this particular form looks very nice, right? So here and there is no messy outputs we are getting. Okay, so this is one of the way. So try to design these kind of forms whenever you ask to design the forms. Okay, now let's see how you can design this kind of form. So first of all, you just have to take the particular form tag. So we have a form tag. With form, what are the necessary attributes? One is the method, one is the action, name you have to provide. Okay, after that you design your particular controls in a table format. So first of all, we require one table tag, right? So okay, we have a table. You can just define the width according to your requirements. Now you just divide it into rows and columns. So now in a form, we at one side we have a label, and another side we have the particular elements, right? So we require two columns. So how you can divide it? One row, two column, one row, two column. So here you just go for TR. This is our first row. In that TR first row, this is our first column and this is our second column. So in a first column, what I want the label. So whatever necessary label you want to design, so that label you just need to define over here. In second column, I just want the input. So here you can define the input. What is the type of input? Okay, that is a text, right? So this our first row is ready. Our first row is ready. So you can see in the output that in a first row we have this label and this input. So similarly, now you can just go for a second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. Okay, now let's just go to the particular submit button. Okay, so in a submit button, first column is blank, so I just left it blank. Second column, I'm just putting the particular submit, right? And in the same cell, I have used paragraph. So paragraph is a block level element, so it will always start with the new line. So here you can see a Google link. So you can see over here, guys. So submit button and a Google link. So this way you can logically design. You can merge the particular tags and you can create a pretty good structure, right? Here there are lots of other attributes I have used. If you want, then I can explain you, right? So here is the align attribute, right? Then okay, in a columns we have v-align, that is known as the vertical alignment, right? Then this is our text area. Okay, so remember this, for text area there is no input tag, right? So text area itself is a tag. Remember this, guys, right? So text area, we have how to define a size of the text area. So you can just go for column and rows, cols and rows. Okay, and maximum length also you can define, that is 1000 characters. Okay, so this kind of inputs and you can say attributes you can use to design this particular form. I hope you know the meaning of this label and for, because whenever I click on that particular text, that is going to be selected, right? This is optional. If you want to make it, then you can make it, otherwise it's up to you. You can leave it as it is. Directly you just write the comments, right? So this way you can design a good structure of the particular form, right? So now onwards, whenever you are practicing in the lab session, then you have to design these kind of symmetric forms, right? So always go for a table, right? And it will be very much easy to design this kind of form. You, with the use of CSS also, you can design this kind of stuff, right? But I found this is the very easiest way to make my form very symmetric, right? If I found any another good way, then I will share with you guys. Okay, now this is very simple basic form. Now let's go for our new input types. So here you can see I have put this kind of structure. Action is equals to JavaScript my action. I want to call this function when I submit this form. Forget about this right now, right? We just go for the output. You can see. So if you observe the output of this code, then it looks like this. It's a very pretty good. Okay, so I'm just making it, opening it into a particular, yes, in a browser. Okay, right? So you can see over here, this kind of forms is also you can design, right? Okay, for simplicity I am just making it zoom. So here you can see it's a about you form. You have to practice this kind of forms into your lab session. Remember this, right? So if you want, then you can, I will also share it with you whenever we do that. Otherwise you can take a picture and all that. So your name. So here you can see we are providing examples, like you have to provide name like this. Then right now, so just observe it, right? Telephone, right? So I want the number in this particular format. So I'm putting one demo. Email address also I'm putting one demo. Okay, here just I am clicking and it will pop up like this. You can see, don't look at that. When you do, when do you want us to start sending your kittens? So here you can see there is a month, week, time, date and time, date, time, local. So these kind of inputs I have used in this particular form, and then I'm just going for the submit button. I hope you know the meaning of this border around it and about you. It is a field set and legend, right? So that will make your form very informative. Okay, so suppose if I want to design this kind of output, right? So what I just need to go for, okay, so here there are some important attributes I need to explain. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start with the type, that is our text. This is a required, this is a placeholder, this is a pattern what I want to talk about, right? So these are the new attributes. Again here pattern, you can observe this pattern, right? You can observe this pattern. So these are the regular expression, right? So you can see that what is the syntax of our regular expression, what is the example, right? So example is like 1 2 3 dash 4 5 6 dash 7 8 9 0. So this, in this format I want the number. So how to design the regular expression? Pattern attribute you have to write. Now we are using all the digits. So in a first part I want 3 digits. So I want digits, so 0 to 9 any digit can be there, and in curly braces 3. So it will allow only 3. In second pattern I want 0 to 9 and again 3. So I need to write this, so you can see this. In fourth one I want 4 digits, so 0 to 9 and that's for 4, right? So this way you can design these kind of patterns. Okay, so You can also find there are lots of patterns available on the internet for emails and numbers, credit cards and all that. So you can put up that for the validations. Okay. Now, required attribute is used for whenever you are asking something, suppose say for name, and if it is compulsory to enter, then you have to put a required, right? So if I have this particular text box and if I have one submit button, without entering anything, if I am pressing on a submit, then one warning message will be pop up, please fill out this particular field, right? So without entering anything over here, you cannot submit the form data. So that is the meaning of required. That is the meaning of required. So you have to compulsory fill in, right? Placeholder. Placeholder will work like hint. So as you see in our form, we have provided demos, right? Like name we have provided John Doe, right? Then number pattern we have provided. So that is hint. Okay, bhai, this kind of inputs you have to provide. So that will be defined by placeholder. That will be defined by the placeholder, right? So likewise, you can just go ahead and you can just use the particular input types. Email we have, placeholder we have, and after that you just design this form like this. We have input, right? In that we have placeholders like hints we are providing. So input date, month, week, time, date time, right? And date time local. Okay. So if I execute this code, so let's execute this. So suppose say for example, like here, suppose I am not filling anything. So you can see, please fill out this field. This kind of output will be there. So you have to compulsory fill that form. So same name I am going for, John Doe or whatever, admin, right? Next, submit. Please fill out this field, compulsory. So suppose I am writing 1212. Please match the requested format. You can see this, you can observe this, right? So I need to enter again 11 and 4 digit 1234. Okay, and then I submit. Again, that is a mistake. 123 123. So dash. Okay, so that particular format it provides. Now I just go to the email. If I am writing like this, please include @ in email is missing @. So this kind of messages we have not written anywhere. So it is coming by default. So this is new input types, right? So here suppose if I am writing admin @gmail.com. Now it looks fine. So just go ahead. Okay, there is no error we have. Okay, now here we have a month. So you just go for it. So this is 2021. I'm just selecting the date and it will be selected. Suppose I want to change the year and all that format, then it is there. It is there. Okay, here you can provide minimum and maximum, that kind of stuff, as we have discussed in our slides, right? So this is about the month. This is about the week, right? So in June, okay. Okay, so this is about the date, this is about the month. Okay, June 2021. Now we are going for week. So here you can see, okay, so it's a week 26, and here you can just go for 30. So here 26 21 time, you can just click on it, it will be there. Date and local, so you can just there is date and time, so you can just provide the date and time, and date time local, so you can just select this and it will be selected like this. Okay, 1 AM. right? So this kind of stops you can do. Here you can just provide 221 dash 0 dash 12, right? And when I click on a submit, then whatever action we have written, that will be fulfilled, right? So this way you can design a pretty nice forms with advanced new HTML5 inputs. Okay, so this is the particular example. Is there any doubt, anyone, guys?